Hello everybody. I'm here to represent our group, WanderWise for our DFP final project. And so what WanderWise is it's a program that scrapes different hotel and travel websites to give you the best possible combination of hotel and flights that is best catered to what you would like, or what you perhaps value the most, and kind of streamlines that process rather than you visiting each website and going through that entry row like one by one and finding the best hotel that fits you. And so how it works is really simple. Once you've located the primary directory, all you need to do is launch up Python main.py, which is our main Python executable. And from then it will sort of give you these different prompts. So from, let's say for this demo, we are from Pittsburgh. We would like to go to Boston. Let's go to New York. New York has more entries usually. 12. What day is it? 12, 10, 2024. Let's do closer to 2024. Okay. And we return on like zero. Oh, right. Formatting is very important here. 5, 2025. And let's say we are going with a group of four. We're going with a group of four friends. I know that in the project specifications, it told us not to waste time on how it actually scrapes, but I thought that in the purpose of our product, it was worth discussing how our thing actually worked. And so the thing about dynamic scraping is that there are a lot of things the that the website does not want you to scrape. So they put up these uh, roadblockers. So for example, in travel websites, it's actually hard to input your flight return dates. And so one of the ways you could get around it is if you had a playwright module that you could interact with Python. And in this case, once it's interacted with it, it was able to scrape a lot more entries by pressing the show more elements button. And you can see in the terminal here that this is the result of what we scraped from the Google Flight. After I scrape that, we'll then move on to the next one, which is in this case is Kayak. Um, a little disclaimer that your results from scraping will be dependent on your Wi-Fi connection. So the better your connection, the more results you would be able to scrape. Again, same thing here. I pressed the show more button and was able to scrape 2 pages worth of flight entries rather than just one. Um, Airbnb for New York, um, it's more broad. I understand that New York has like its own little neighborhoods, but this product just sort of takes it like as a whole. Hmm. In retrospect, one of the things I wish I was able to do with my current hardware is running it all in parallel. But I think because of the fact that I have multiple tabs open with schoolwork as well, um, some of those things I wish I could if I would. Expedia, for some reason, takes a bit longer than usual, and the reason being just touching base on the fact that these websites don't want you to scrape is that Expedia has different things that sort of like roadblocks it. So you can see in the terminal it's going to stop after a bit. Oh, here we go. That brief pauses is because Expedia has these different containers that matches ID with an entry here. And what ends up happening is that if I don't throw a proper edge case for that, it'll just end up crashing my entire thing. After scraping the different websites, it then compares the results of the things we found. So the first set of comparison is the flight website, so Google Flight and Kayak. You can see here that for flights in Google, there are some that's way below the average and some that are way above. So Google is a bit more extreme, whereas Kayak sort of hovers around the average, which is represented by the dotted line. Google on average has higher flight tickets than Kayak. For flights, another metric we looked at is flight minutes. Again, on average, Google flights are a lot longer, whereas Kayak, they're about like less than 100 or about 100, with some outliers here at the later stages of the page. Now, this is a metric that we sort of brought up is cost per hour flying, and it's more so um how much do you value like the time or like how much is being sacrificed to fly? And so Google has a lower cost per hour flying, and I guess a big driving factor is the fact that the flights in Google are so much longer, right? So after comparing these interesting summary statistics for the flights, we then move on to the hotels. And so for Expedia, similar trend with Google, there is a wider range of values, right? Whereas in Airbnb's case, it sort of hovers around the average values, just like the previous case. Airbnb on average has a higher rating than Expedia. Now, rating per dollar is the the value you get per dollar you spend. And so in this case, they're about neck to neck, but it's saying that like per dollar you get what is the rating that is proportional to that. And so higher bang for your buck is usually associated with higher rating per dollar. So after showing the consumers like these different statistics, it then asks like what is most important to you? So let's say for my case, I really care about a hotel's rating. And I would, oh, right. After giving that, it then shows you like the 15 different hotels that has the highest rating. So in this case, like all of it is an Airbnb. Let's see. For travel, I care a lot about how fast I reach my destination. So let's say 5 minutes. Boom. And it's a mix of like Google and Kayak. You can see here it's ordered by 5 minutes and sort of like starts ascending. And so it then gives a final recommendation that for our trip from 12/25 to January 5 with 4 people to New York from Pittsburgh, the best combination for having the highest rating and the quickest time is a three bed with 10-0 rating in Airbnb. The thing about Airbnb is that there is not exactly a title for like the things that they rent out there. And so with enough metrics such as the cost and the name and the rating, you should be able to locate it in New York. For the flights, you are best served, or it's in your best interest to book a flight that is operated by American Airlines and Google that would cost you $916. Afterwards, the program will then prompt you like, would you like to exit or would you like to retrieve something new? And so I would exit, but again, this demo, I just want to show you like our full functionality. So you can press anything you want here. Um, let's say we're from Boston, we would like to go to Chicago. We are 2024, and there for like, and we have like, I don't know, some passengers. Cool. And so I'll just kind of like go through that same process again. One thing to note is that sometimes there's so much entries or sometimes like your internet is wonky that it couldn't scrape it properly, which would lead to like some blank entries. And once those blank entries make it to the data analysis stage, it could throw an error. But in my opinion, if you encounter an error, your best bet is just running the same entry again. And hopefully you find like a better connection because it's happened to me a couple of times, bad reception, and it just crashed like my entire program, which kind of sucks for dynamic web scraping in my opinion. Boom, bam, show more results. Boom, scrape 2 pages worth. Man, I know you asked me to not include this part, but honestly, it's really satisfying to see it in action. Clicks next, scrapes it. Hypothetically, it should be able to click next on all the pages, but because the way it's set up to sort of ensure this program would run regardless of how strong your network connection is, there's like a lot of pauses, um, which should be able to be mitigated had we had greater connection or better hardware, I would say. My computer's not that good. Boom, scroll down. Yeah, nice. And we should be reaching the end of the second run. Afterwards, I'm just gonna like go past the like the visuals that it throws out automatically and just exit the program, and from then like the product demo is done. Um, hold on. Okay, nice. Okay. So summary stats. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good here. Then compares the hotels or Chicago and Boston. Nope. Cool. Already know what I want. That's the cost. Again, it ranges by lower cost to highest cost. Again, I guess for five, let's just say cost again. Lowest cost to highest cost. And so for the purpose of our trip, we just give us like you should book Motel 6 in Chicago North and book American Airlines in Google. And now we're satisfied with our scraping and just let's just exit and put it out of its misery. And thank you so much for watching our product demo for WanderWise. Um, we're excited to see it launch real soon.